Previously on the Ultimate Career. And Season 3 of the Ultimate Career is away! We have taken our first victory of Season 3, guys. What a win it was! Are we going to make another move? Surely not. Our tyres are so much newer, and we're just going to brave it round the outside. What a move this would be if we could pull it off. What a move into the swimming pool chicane. Oh my word, no, we're not going to get P7 because we've got into the wall. We've made an absolute rookie mistake. And we go a little bit deep into there and we've lost the front wing. At the British Grand Prix, what a victory. We're back on the top step of the podium. It's been a while, but finally we're back there. And there you can see that we are topping the Drivers' Championship now somehow by 6 points. But it's been a crazy season, just like the real life 2012 season. What's up, guys, and welcome back to the F1 Ultimate Career. And boy, has it been a long time since I last said that. Yes, we are back today with the German Grand Prix, and I do apologise for the lengthy break in between episodes, but we're back, and I will forgive you if you've forgotten what's been going on in this series. But I thought I'd sort of add a little bit of a sort of season review, I guess, at the start of the video. Make sure you leave a like down below if you're happy to see the Ultimate Career back. But there you can see on screen now, we have got the current Drivers' Championship. As you can see, we're leading the way from Jenson Button by just 6 points. And we had a couple of shaky rounds in Canada and at Valencia, but then we made up for it with a home win last time out. Now today we've got the German Grand Prix, and as you can see on the right hand side, Vettel took pole position and won the race back in 2010. No race last year. We could only manage 4th position after getting a puncture in qualifying. We actually made up 6 positions on the first lap of the race. So can we have the pace today? Let's see what we can do in qualifying. So then the qualifying session was about to begin at Hockenheim for the 10th round, I believe, of this season. Actually, it might be the 9th round. I do apologise, completely out of sync with what is happening so far this season. But here you can see we are in Q1 on the option tyres, actually easing through into Q2. And the same went for the next session, easing into Q3. But this is where it counts now. We may have been quickest in second qualifying, but this is really where it counts. And as you can see, the track a little bit damp in this Q3 session. A little bit of rain between Q2 and Q3, but it's cleared up now, and there you can see we are purple through the first 2 sectors, getting a little bit on the wet ground after that tricky right-hander, the 90-degree right-hander, but coming across the line now. Is it going to be fastest? Yes, it is, but we're knocked down immediately into P2. Fernando Alonso, who's right behind us, has just set a quicker lap. He managed to get our slipstream, and he actually took pole position, but we managed to get P2 for the race, so we've definitely got a chance to win this race. Now let's go and do it. Come on. So then, it is time for the German Grand Prix, and boy am I looking forward to this one. Yes, it's been a very long time since the last time that we lined up on the grid back in Britain at Silverstone, but now it's time to get out onto the Hockenheim grid. And there you can see Fernando Alonso on pole, but we are alongside him. We've got a Red Bull lurking behind us as well as 2 McLarens. So yeah, some pretty quick cars in and around us, but this is where it counts. Sebastian Vettel in front of the home crowd is going to be looking to take the victory, but now we've got the lights for the start of the German Grand Prix. 5 lights. And away we go. The 5th light was on for an eternity, but we get a great launch. Can we get ahead of Fernando Alonso going into turn 1? We're going to go down the inside, and yes, we do. We take the better line into P1, and that is exactly the start we wanted after all this time away. And just sneaking into P1 as we come through turn 2 and 3 now. Going a little bit wide, but we've got a full tank of fuel on board and using the curves now as we come towards Parabolica at turn 6. And we've already got a half a second lead over Fernando Alonso, and then Sebastian Vettel behind him, but there's a huge gap behind Vettel, so we should be able to extend the gap. And come lap 10 we managed to do that. Jenson Button, in fact, getting a pretty good launch, obviously, and a pretty good first 10 laps, because he's up into P2 after being nowhere after the first few turns. But the concern for us is tyre wear. Just look at that tyre gauge. we've got massive tyre wear, and as you can see, we're going quite considerably slower on lap 10 than our fastest lap. So, yeah, we've really got to try and take care of that if we want to win this race. That front left tyre taking such a beating. And sure enough, at the end of lap 11, enough is enough. So we're going to have to come in for a very early pit stop. And, well, you guys know what happened back in 2010. I mentioned it earlier. If you didn't check that race out, then basically what happened was we got a puncture in qualifying because we were sort of pushing the tyres a little bit too far. So I didn't want the same to happen today. So yeah, going on the cautious side, we were a hell of a lot quicker than anyone else sort of on fresh tyres. We actually managed to get the gap up to about 5 seconds at one point, but now we're just behind Romain Grosjean, so we are a pit stop behind effectively. Because we're probably going to have to make another stop. But yeah, we'll see how we go. But you can see on very cold tyres now, going up into rich mix. We get the DRS, using all of our curves. And now we're going to be in the slipstream of Romain Grosjean. That would be one hell of a move if we could pull it off into the turn 7 hairpin. We're going to go around the outside of the Lotus driver who moves out the way. Respect to him. But we go around the outside. The extra grip on these brand new prime tyres pays off. And taking a look at the replay, Grosjean almost scared onto the inside. We take him around the outside, fantastic move, and up into P6, lovely little onboard shot. But going on to lap 14, and it's time for the rest of the field to stop, so it's going to be interesting to see whether they do a one-stop strategy. It says on the recommended strategy that we don't need to stop again as we go fastest in the Grand Prix and up into P4 as well. And then by the next lap, end of lap 15, the remaining 3 cars come into the pit lane, but we get a little bit hairy off that final corner. But still going up into P1, and we've got a massive gap, in fact, over Alonso, so the undercut has really worked. But yeah, we're going to have to see sort of how things pan out over the next few laps. And sure enough, come the end of lap 19, we've extended our gap further, doing a 1:19.8. So we're doing pretty quick laps at this point in the Grand Prix. And we're just going to take a look to see what that gap is back to Alonso. It's over 10 seconds. So really, well, we've got fantastic pace at this stage of the Grand Prix. But the question is, are we pushing our tyres too far? And just look at that gauge once again. The prime tyres are absolutely gone. And on this game, the tyres feel a little bit sort of weird. It's a little bit of an understeery game in general. And then when the tyres are going off, it's even worse. And as you can see there, going into the gravel trap, so we've really got to be careful. We've got a 13-odd second lead over Alonso, but we've got to be careful. And as you can see, the gap's come down by nearly a second on that lap. So we're going to be taking no chances. And on this game, on 2012, I think the tyres do explode as well. So if you get to a certain stage, then the tyres will explode. And that front left tyre, I'm really running the risk, if I do another 7 or 8 laps on it, of the tyre exploding. So I feel we've got the pace to try and win this race, as you know, I've proved on that stint. We've got the pace over anybody else, so, well, it's going to have a little bit of excitement, but that was actually quite a slow pit stop, 4.4 seconds, but I think we're just going to get ahead of the McLaren guys, which is fortunate, but we are on stone cold tyres, and Hamilton has set the fastest lap of the race, so he is going extremely quick at this stage, and now we've got to try and use our curves, and we do. And, well, we've really got to try and defend from Hamilton because we don't want to end up behind him. And as you can see, using all of our curves, but Hamilton is still gaining and he's on the prime tyres. He is just in the groove and he's gone past us, as is his teammate. They've both got in our slipstream. Are we going to get down the inside of Button? No, we can't. Oh, but we get the traction. Our tyres are still incredibly cold. And we can't, so he goes round that outside. And are we going to make a switching move to the inside? No, we can't, because I think we probably would have just locked our tyres up. So this is incredibly disappointing at this stage of the Grand Prix. But, well, we're really going to have to work for this. You know, still in P4, but now at the start of lap 29. Are we going to go around the outside of Jenson Button? He goes incredibly defensive into turn 1. And this is just not working out for us. The last thing we want is to get held up by anyone. I mean, I thought we had a clear track between ourselves and Alonso, but what a battle this is with Button. He is, well, he's racing us fairly, as Jenson would in real life, but we go down his inside into turn 3 or turn 4. I can't really remember which turn is which, but still, we're up into P3 nonetheless, and now our goal is to try and get past Lewis Hamilton. And once again, going on to the main straight, the DRS straight, so we're using the DRS with 1.5 tenths up on our previous lap. We've gone purple and we are gaining and gaining. We need to make this move on Lewis Hamilton down the inside, and we do it up into P2, claiming the inside apex. A little bit of a cheeky move, making sure he doesn't get back at us. But that's what you've got to do. A little bit of a lockup you can see there, but we just sort of park it on the apex and make sure he has got no chance of getting past us. So now we've got a clear track between ourselves and Fernando Alonso, but there is a 4-second gap between us. But that has come right down to 2.6 seconds, and the only goal now is closing up to Alonso. 1.5 seconds is the gap, but we run a little bit wide there. I think we may have had a chance of getting it within DRS range if we hadn't have messed that up. And you can see that we're over a 10th down on our previous lap. So, well, it's all or nothing on the final lap of this Grand Prix. 1 lap to go, and we get very, very hairy once again on that final corner. But 7/10 is the gap, and can we do it? Run a little bit wide at the exit of turn 1, but we're just going to ride on board for the whole of this final lap to see if we can do something which we did around this track in the Senna career last year, and that was take victory on the final lap of the Grand Prix. Boy, I did not expect it to be this tense. When I came out of the pit lane, I thought, you know what, we've got this race in the bag. It's just going to be a simple move on Alonso, but it is far from simple, and we are gaining and gaining. There's some back markers which could play a role. We're going to go down the inside of Alonso. Are we going to make the mistake? No, we can't. He's just blocked us off completely. But fair racing, and there's 3 back markers. We're going to go down the inside of Alonso. Are we going to make the move stick? Yes, we can. Going onto the grass. What a brave move. Up into P1, and while the sweating is over, what a move that was down the inside, so committed. The back markers, to be fair to them, they got out of the way pretty nicely, didn't hold us up whatsoever, and we are up into P1, and surely that is a victory now. Alonso, though, he's going to come back at us, but he just can't find his way past. He must be incredibly disappointed with that. But while lap 34 of this Grand Prix, for long periods of the race, it wasn't very exciting. But boy, did that second stop make things interesting. I didn't really want it to. I wanted it just to sort of be quite straightforward, just get past Alonso, but we have won the German Grand Prix. What a return to the Ultimate career, and another win just extends our championship lead, which is good because we're coming up to a series of tracks now which I don't particularly enjoy. Hungary, Singapore, and well, I can't think of the other, Japan and Korea. You know, none of them are favourites of mine, but there you can see that we took the race win from Fernando Alonso and Lewis Hamilton making up the podium. Jenson Button could only get 4th in at the end, with Mark Webber and Sebastian Vettel making up the top 6. And there you can see our teammate Pastor Maldonado down in 13th. Only one retirement from today's race, and that was Michael Schumacher with the Cucumber Narain Car Decay and bringing up the rear. But there we go, extending our championship lead ahead of Jenson Button. That's done wonders for Fernando Alonso's title charge. He is, what's that, 34 points behind myself, I believe. So he is still in the championship hunt. It's incredibly tight at the top, so we can't afford any more slip-ups. Make sure you comment down below on what you thought. Leave a like down below if you did enjoy it. But another victory. Can we do the same next time out? Well, I wouldn't bank on it, but it's the Hungarian Grand Prix, so hopefully we can score some good points then and extend our championship lead. But until then, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next week for another episode of The Ultimate Career. Bye-bye.